Okay, guys and gals, welcome to T.A.B. Video. I don't get into a lot of rants and garbage like that. But if any of you saw the president Thursday night telling how good he's done with the economy, all this good stuff, he looked like he was high on something because you see him the next day, he can hardly walk, a little on talk, but he was pumped up on something Thursday night. Is my guess. I don't know. That or he slept for 2 days and got all rested up for the event. But I kind of go along with Nikki Haley. These guys, when they reach a certain age. Now, let me explain one thing. I'm 74 years old. Still work part-time. I mean, we can make it on what we get. But it's nice to have a little extra money in your pocket if you want to do a little bit extra. Especially me. I like to shoot. I like to buy guns. I like to do this and that and golf. If I didn't work part-time, I wouldn't be able to do some of that stuff. But being 74, I can speak to the two old men that we got running for president. President Trump, President Biden. Like I said, I'm 74. My mind slips some. I work in retail, part-time. And I just sometimes get a brain fog, a brain fart if you want to call it that. And it just happens. I think they're too old to be running the country. Now, granted, we've got to pick between the worst of two evils as usual. It was the same way with McCain. It was the same way with Romney and Bush. It's just crazy that we have to pick from two evils. And that's what they both are. They're both lying fools. And I think there ought to be an age limit. Once you reach that 70 mark, you cannot run for public office. Now, there's some older people that, granted, have sharp minds and this and that. I give it that. But they're also, as we all are, living day to day. We got no guarantees of tomorrow. Just imagine, God forbid, something happened to Biden. Who do we have for president? Yeah, Camilla, however you pronounce it. That would be a total disaster. As bad as Biden is, I can totally imagine her being president. God help us. God bless. God help the USA and the world if that knucklehead got through into the presidency. It goes for Congress. It goes for the Senate. 70 years old. Same way with someone on the Supreme Court. Thomas is in his 80s. There ought to be a time, not necessarily a time limit, but once you're in there and you turn 70, 71, out you go. Regardless of who's president. I hate to say that, but it's just the way I feel. And I don't like to do rants. I just don't like to do them. But I turned the corner Friday morning coming into work after Joe talked about how good the economy is. It's doing great. Gas prices went up 25 cents overnight. That's 50 cents in the last week that gas prices has went up. But the economy's doing great. Well, I don't know about you and your pocketbook, but the economy ain't doing great up here for me. Not in northern Michigan. We got higher heat bills, electric bills. What are you going to do? Joe has been pulled so far to the left with this environmental bull crap. It's just ridiculous. God help us if we all have to end up getting electric vehicles. That is going to be a nightmare. The national electric grid ain't going to be able to handle it all. I mean, we have power failures now. Can you imagine if we're all charging vehicles? I don't understand the thinking. And the UAW better wise up. They're cutting their own throats. I mean, they keep endorsing Biden, his plan, but it ain't going to work. You force people to have to buy $60,000, $70,000 vehicle. Heck, I can't afford to buy a $40,000 vehicle. I'm driving an old truck. It's got over 300,000 miles on it. It gets me from point A to point B, but I don't have a payment on it. My wife's driving a 2011, but we don't have a payment on it. Got a lot of miles on them. Just have to keep them maintained. Excuse me. Keep the oil change, whatnot. Keep them running, because definitely can't afford a new one. I just thought I'd throw this rant out there. I mean, it's time we the people take back the government. We shouldn't have to settle for the lesser of two evils. 2 weeks ago, we voted here in Michigan in the primary. I didn't vote for Trump. I voted uncommitted. I didn't really want Haley, none of the others, so I vote uncommitted. I knew Trump was going to take Michigan anyway. He's going to sweep it. I'm not saying I'm a big fan of Nikki Haley's, but she had some good points. And she's younger, sharper mind. Trump's losing it too. He said some things recently that kind of crazy. But that's the way he is. He was a good president in his 4 terms, or his first term, 4 years. But he shouldn't be going in there again. I'm forced to have to vote for the guy. Not that I agree with him on everything, and I'm still a little TO'd about the red flag crap that he said. Let's take the guns first and then we'll worry about procedure. Well, that's bull crap. We got a governor here in Michigan, Democrat. The House, the Senate, they're all Democrats. First time in 30 years, I think, that House and Senate was totally under Democratic control. And the first thing they did was start passing some gun control bills. Red flag law, safety checks, Safe Storage Act, background checks for everything, shotguns, you name it. If you don't have a CPL, you got to go through all that bull crap. It's just crazy. Even with a CPL, they still have to do a background check on you. Here in Michigan, some states you don't have to, and it used to be that way here in Michigan. Take in, show your CPL, boom, you walk out with your gun. That just like that. So, like I'm saying, I hate doing rants like this, but I'm totally fed up with all the bull crap going down in our government. And like I said, there ought to be a age 70 limit. You got guys in the Nancy Pelosi's over 80 years old, still in the House. Bull crap. Dianne Feinstein had to die to get out of there at over 80 years old. You got this guy in Iowa. I can't even think of his name right now. He's over 80 years old. I mean, come on, folks. They ought to be out there. They got the money. They don't need the money. They know how to shift the system and get these little perks so they make millions of dollars. Let's face it. They're too old. I'm too old. But we have to do what we have to do. So, if you like videos like this, hit that like, subscribe, and bell notification. I don't know. Comments welcome. I mean, I'm going to get some dirty comments. I know about Trump. Oh, he's the greatest, blah, 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 blah. He was. He was a good president. Unfortunately, COVID hit, and that really lambasted a lot of things. But who's going to be in charge of the next pandemic? You want Biden in charge of it? Something breaks out this year? The next 4 years? He's going to be 86 years old, for crying out loud. He's too old. I'm sorry. Well, there you go. I ranted enough. Thanks for watching. God bless America and our armed forces, past and present.